Welcome back. In the previous video, we talked about how the structural abnormalities in the spine or other parts of the body are normal part of aging. And that's why a lot of treatments geared towards those abnormalities have been shown through research that they are not effective. I also talked about the questions I had about my condition and how doctors were just giving me the structural, they're like, we don't really know. Now, was I the only one who noticed these facts? Of course not. Dr. John Sarno, who was a professor of rehabilitation medicine at New York University, noticed the same thing. He wondered what's going on because whatever they did didn't seem to help their patients. So one of the things he noticed was that what causes the pain is reduction of blood flow, because when they heat the area, temporarily gets better. When you cool it also, kind of like when you go out in a cold day and your nose turns red, your body sends more blood to that area and it feels better. So increasing blood flow was a remedy that worked temporarily. But what caused the reduction of blood flow? You start looking at the medical history of his patients, look at the whole picture. And he noticed back pain or neck pain or knee pain or arm and hand pain was not the only issue. They had other health issues such as hay fever, gastrointestinal problems like IBS or acid reflux or other issues, skin issues, migraine headaches. So all of these conditions and more, which you can read more about it in my book, were and are caused by repressed anger and rage. He said, could it be they're really upset about something? And that caused a reduction of blood flow. So he started talking to the patients. He said, what is it going on in your life? Something that's making you very upset and angry. Guess what they said? Nothing. Everything's fine. I don't have any problems. So he started asking them, like, any issues at work? Said, my boss is a jerk, but it doesn't bother me. Any problems at home? I don't get along with my wife or husband, but we're doing okay. Or, hey, I have elderly parents I got to take care of. I can handle it. I'm doing okay. Or teenage son or daughter rebelling and everything's fine. So you notice there are issues in their lives causing a lot of tension, making them very angry, but on the conscious level, they don't think it's that a big a deal. And in some rare cases, it goes back even to a trauma that happened to them as a child. So he said, okay, let me talk to them about this, to treat it for this instead of structural issues. And they started to get better. 98% of patients with a herniated disc going through his program recovered completely. Now, he made another great discovery. The other great discovery was that the pain can become a conditioned response. You probably heard of Pavlov dogs, you ring the bell, the mouth starts to water. In this case, when you sat for a certain amount of time, you bend a certain way, you turned a certain way, reduction of blood flow happened and caused pain. So the pain was really bad. The pain was very, what he calls a nasty pain, but just reduction of blood flow. And it happened when your conscious mind that's busy with work and with responsibilities is started to let go and relax. That's why you go to sleep, you wake up middle of the night or first thing in the morning, I have this neck pain, it's so stiff, or your back, or your knee. A lot of times, these kind of conditions start to get bad when you relax. At the end of a workday, on a weekend, right there and then he answered my most complex question that was driving me crazy. I would call it a perplexing question. Because before sleep I was fine, and I didn't have back pain. I took a nap, woke up with back pain. Before sleep I was walking, fine, going up, downstairs, no problem. I slept, I woke up, my right leg was numb. Later on, my left leg was numb. Sleeping seemed to be the most dangerous thing I could do. Can you believe this? Now, this explains that when you sleep, that's when all this rage and anger inside of you starts to show up in your body as reduction of blood flow. I said, aha, that made sense. As I said, sometimes it can hit you at the end of a workday. Once you go through a very difficult time, that's very anxiety and anger and frustration filled. Maybe you're taking care of someone who's really sick in a hospital, and then it hits you right after that. But there are other situations that this can happen, but as soon as you can kind of relax, it shows up in your body. So the other thing I always wondered is why so many young people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, The largest group surveys have shown, national surveys from age 25 to 49 are the ones who get the back pain. What happens when you finish college at around age 22, 23, 24? You know, you get married, you have kids, you have work responsibility, you have a lot of stuff to be worrying about, a lot of tension into your life. Oh, the back hurts because you just can't stand anymore. Your legs hurt, your arms hurt, it's too much responsibility. So that's why it's happening. We are not falling apart. Here's the good news. We're not falling apart at age 20 or 30 or 40 or 50. Thank God. It's just too much tension in our lives. So putting all this together, it put my mind at ease that my body at age 30, 31 was not falling apart. This numbness, I was so scared of going paralyzed, having sciatica in both legs. No, I wasn't going to go paralyzed. And because I had studied psychology, I knew how subconscious worked, I knew how I could counter all of this and recover quickly. In the next video, I'll tell you more about Dr. Sarno's discovery, his treatment program, and how I was able to enhance it, supercharge it actually, using techniques used by Olympic athletes for peak performance in order to improve immediately, recover rapidly, and completely. See you in the next video.